Hello there, and welcome to another Monday night stream. Now we're going to be doing some commentary today because we've got two chapters to discuss, but I'm waiting about 10 minutes or so for everyone to join us, and then we'll get started. I hope everyone has had a good week, good weekend. It's been, well, I guess the big news is we had chapter 12 released last week. We obviously doing commentary on that today. Don't think I've actually done commentary on a chapter that's just been so freshly released. Floopy, welcome. John Lawrence, hello, welcome. Poindexter, welcome. Poindexter's Lounge is a great channel, and you have to thank him for chapter 2 actually existing, because it was his reaction video to chapter 1 that made me seriously start looking into how to continue making more of Heir to the Empire, because as I've said frequently, chapter 1 was meant to be just a test project. I didn't really intend to do any more than that. So Poindexter's Lounge has a lot to answer for, I guess. In a good way, of course. Grand Admiral Thrawn, welcome. Thomas, welcome. Respect 930, it's going pretty well. Alex, hello. It's great to see so many regulars and a few new people. So today I'm going to be doing commentary for chapter 11 and 12, because I like to do 2 episodes at a time, and it's very difficult to do that when I only had one. But last week I released chapter 12, which means I've got 2 chapters to talk about. Well, I just wanted to make sure that everyone recognised that it was you that kind of really inspired me to keep making more. I mean, I had lots of good comments from people asking me to make more, and it's got me thinking about it. But it was your video, because I've never had a reaction video to anything I've ever made before, and that was such a huge thrill that that's what kind of tipped me over the edge. Floopy, yeah, I keep forgetting about that too, which was but next weekend the clocks change here, so we should be back to the regular time difference. Yeah, because it'll be next Monday that I do the next one, so it'll be after the time change. I was supposed to record a podcast about machinima on Saturday, and the 2 people who are hosting the recording session are based in America, and I'm not, and the 4th person in the podcast is also here in the UK, and neither of us had realised the time difference, so I still thought I had an hour to go, and so did she, when suddenly we get the email saying that the session's been set up and the invite to click the link to join. So in a mad scramble to get in. So we were about 10 minutes late starting, but luckily our friends in America were very understanding and forgiving, because none of us had realised the clocks hadn't all changed in one go. But it did make for some good jokes as well. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to give it another 6 minutes. I wait till 10 past, and then we'll get started. So just to give people a chance to join us and not miss anything. I was actually having to explain to my friends who I was doing the podcast with about Heir to the Empire and the how it kind of led to the revival of Star Wars. Bionic, welcome. I'm glad you found my videos and enjoy them. Chapter 12 was released a few days ago. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll be doing commentary on it tonight after I finish 11. It's nice to have 2 chapters to talk about at once. So I'm very excited about chapter 13. Oh, and another little bit of information that I think you guys might like. Yeah, Matt was on during chapter 12. And he did enjoy the chapter, which is nice as well. But yeah, so a couple of hours ago I received an email, which is the last dialogue recordings so I can now produce chapter 25. Which is obviously, that's a long way off, but I've got all the dialogue I need to finish that off. So I don't know when I'll get to be using it, but it's nice to know that I can think that far ahead. I've still got quite a way to go. Bionic, well, that's good, because making these has also helped me through. Oh, you actually had COVID. I hope you're feeling better now. So I misread that to start with. I thought you meant it helped you through the pandemic, but if you've had COVID, I hope you're feeling better. It's not a good thing to get. Well, that's good to hear. I had my first vaccination a couple of weeks ago. Here they're doing it 12 weeks apart, so quite some time before I can have the second one. But got it. Minimal side effects. So that was good. Felt like having a weird cold for the next day. But to me that tells me that it's actually my body's reacting to it and it's working. So looking forward to that second dose, and I never thought I'd ever be so excited to have a needle in the arm before. Yeah, I'm really glad that you're better now. I hope that anyone else that's listening or watching who's had it is doing better as well. But yeah, I am sorry, I misread it. I thought you meant it helped you through the pandemic, which I've had a couple of people tell me that it has, and it's nice to know. But yeah, I'm glad my videos helped you recover. It's kind of humbling actually, so I'm not really sure what to say about it. Well, Thomas, we're not going to go into the other possibilities of what could be in there. That's not really my lifestyle. So we've got a minute to go. I'm looking forward to talking about these 2 chapters. I had a lot of fun making them, and going to talk a little bit about that. Let's see, 16 current viewers, that's nice. Just going to have a bit of water before we get started, so I don't start choking or coughing. Moff Gideon, welcome. Right, it's 10 past. So tonight I will be to make sure everyone who's here knows what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing the director's commentary on chapters 11 and 12 of the most recent Heir to the Empire chapters. I haven't done one for a while because I like to do 2 chapters at once, and I couldn't do that until I finished chapter 12. So, let's get going. Yeah, I've set the volume quite low, but if it's not, if it's too loud or too quiet, do let me know in the chat, and I can adjust it accordingly. Somebody X, welcome. I'll be talking a little bit about the Nikolon shots. So, I'm going to press play.
R2, find me a good spot to sit down, will you?
So the
Thanks.
Rebel flight suit is modified
cycle.
from what we saw in the original trilogy. If you go back to, I think, my first stream actually, where I talk about making the costume for Wedge, why it's different, and that's mainly down to the limitations in the software and what you can do with it. You know, here we are at Dagobah. It's very important to me because obviously Dagobah is a very well-known location from the films, so it had to look right. And I spent quite a bit of time with the lighting.
Hang on, I'll get you
trying
down.
to figure it all out, but I'm happy with the way it looked. Of course, you have to have some of those bat creatures flying around. And when I was working on this shot with Yoda's hut,
I thought Yoda might have left
I put it all
something.
together, and I kind of put Luke down, and I pulled back
Something
just to
that
look
would
at it,
tell
and
me
I had to
more about
stop
the methods of Jedi
because
training.
it kind of gave me a little bit of feels.
Not much left though.
Just seeing the ruined hut and Luke staring at it all by himself. I did not expect that. But I kind of hope it, you guys watching felt something similar, seeing it that way. It's kind of sad that Yoda's gone now.
I hope you're not going to tell me that all you were picking up was our own ship. You're sure?
Manuel, welcome. Gundam
Stay here,
Firestorm.
R2.
Glad you're liking it, and also welcome. I had a lot of fun doing the motion capture for the cave scene as well, because it's kind of walking around my living room trying to pretend that I was walking through the cave and, you know, put my hand up to brush the vines away. I'm glad I had my curtains closed, because anyone looking in would probably wonder what I was doing. Yeah, through the window. Yeah, it's motion capture. Everything, not everything, but a lot of the motion after, from chapter 2 onwards, is me motion captured. I don't do stunt work like jumping around or falling over, because I'm a little bit concerned about damaging the suit.
I'm not gonna play this game. I've faced this crisis
I can't
too,
afford
and I've
another
defeated it.
But so right now Luke's walking along the platform. That was me. When he drops down, that was not me. I found someone else had recorded it. Actually, what I should have done is gone full screen. So yeah.
No!
I did not jump the plank. I kind of did a small jump and turned, and then blended it in with another animation which I found of someone falling and grabbing onto a ledge and then pulling themselves up, and doing the flip as well. Also not me.
I don't know what it is. Do you recognize it? Lando? I don't ever remember
It
seeing
was
Lando
interesting
with
trying to
anything like
find
this.
pictures of Arika's outfit.
But I
Because
was pretty busy at the time. All
there
right.
aren't too many. I know it's
We're
kind
gonna
of
swing
blue.
over to the Athega system and see Lando.
And
Maybe he can tell us what this thing is.
luckily, I feel like I was able to capture what she was wearing in the handful of pictures that do exist of that outfit. So yeah, that was chapter 11. Yeah, this shot here, that's in the background of the video. Let me pause it. This is the one that gave me feels, which is why I felt like it's important to have that in there. So I'm just going to catch up on the comments. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's an interesting nightmare to bring to life, and I'm glad that it was a little surprise for you when you watched it again, Thomas. Lost Files, welcome. Yes, I'm doing commentary on chapter 11 and 12. I just finished finished chapter 11. If you missed it when this stream's finished, it will be uploaded automatically onto YouTube, so you can catch up that way. When you say you want to live in Yoda's hut, I hope you don't mean in its current state with all the holes in it. Respect, thank you. It's important for me to get Dagobah right. So I watched some of The Empire Strikes Back again, and then after that I went back and just watched the Dagobah scenes to try and capture the right atmosphere. I'm not going to fix it up. I don't want to go to Dagobah. So we're going to move on to chapter 12, and it's kind of... There we go. Somebody else, yeah, you can't click on that link. I'm afraid. No, I do appreciate the gesture. There are other links around on the channel. Also, with an evil super chat, I had a lot of requests for it, and I thought this was going to be this really complicated thing to do, and then it turned out all I had to do was click a couple of buttons. I thought I had to design all the reactions and all that kind of stuff, and luckily I don't. It's all done for me. Right, so we're going to move on to chapter 12. This was the one that was released just a few days ago, so it's still very fresh in my mind. But I've got a couple of things I can talk about, because I've been planning some of this footage for well since last summer, so it's been a long time coming, and I'm going to explain that as we get to it. The shield ship is... So I don't do a lot of modelling myself. I try and find models that other people have created, because they're a lot better at it than I am. But because the shield ship doesn't get a lot of use within Star Wars, it's not really been... no one's really tried to make a model of it, as far as I could tell. Well, at least as far as that was available to me. So I decided to tackle this one myself, and luckily it's a fairly straightforward design. Did I take it off the specs? So I've got that book, and that, I'm not going to say I copied it exactly, but that book was definitely the inspiration for this design. I mean, it's the way it looks in the comics as well. Thomas, you are very kind. Thank you so much. So I'm just catching up with the comments before we get started. Oh, and the other reference I used for the shield ship was the graphic novel, which in turn used the design from the guidebook. Right, do you think Star Wars had too many bring back of deceased characters? Generally, not really. It's nowhere near as bad as Marvel, where because I was thinking, the last couple of months I've been rewatching an MCU film one a week. Of course, you get to Infinity War and Endgame, and a lot of characters don't survive that. And now it's already back to only one character is still dead, and I'm sure even that's only a matter of time. Because even I'm not talking about people who were turned to dust in the snap. I'm talking about the characters who were killed before that. A lot of them died, and some died after the snap, and now only one of them is still only dead. So compared to Marvel, no. At first I wasn't sure about bringing Maul back, but then they actually did a lot with his character, which I really enjoyed watching. And of course you get Ray Park returning for Maul in Solo. Of course he didn't really do much then, but then he did the motion capture in the final season of Clone Wars for the lightsaber duel, and that was great. It was great to see. I watched some of the behind the scenes as well, and seeing him in the motion capture suit doing the lightsaber dueling, that was fun. Thomas, I think there's a lot of subscribers from all around the world, and obviously someone somewhere is going to be asleep, so there's no way around that. And sometimes that might be me that's asleep. This is the time that works best for me, and it brings a decent group of people here, and I like seeing everyone every week. Right, so I think we should probably get on to chapter 12. So here we go. Just trying to bring back the approach to Cloud City vibe.
No, I don't have a transit permit.
And obviously that line is from the book and is a reference to The Empire Strikes Back as well.
Just give Lando a call, will
It's 20 past midnight where I am.
An old friend wants to play a hand at Savick for my choice of his stock. You will understand.
We want to do what?
The Imperials might have spies here. Lando will know it's me, provided that middle-level button pusher loosens up. Any make on it?
Unidentified ship. General Calrissian has authorized a transit waiver for you.
This is my friend Jenny providing the voice for B-Wing Pilot.
Escort?
Niklon is a super hot planet.
1:23 a.m. That's dedication coming to watch my stream at that time in the morning, so I do appreciate it, thank you.
Unidentified ship.
Alright, so what I was going to say, the sun background, so
Ship 9.
it was
We don't
last
have a
summer
slave circuit.
during
Just give me your course and we'll stay
the
with you.
lockdown.
Very well.
There was some
Unidentified ship.
strange,
Set your course
I'm not
at
really,
284.
it's kind of hard to describe, but it's a cloud
3.6
formation kind of blocking the
with
sun,
them,
and it's
Chewie.
kind of creating this weird lighting effect. So I took a picture of that on my phone because I thought that is going to look so good for this chapter. Even though at the time I knew this was going to be quite a way off, I thought I want to use that
wrong?
picture. I just liked the way the clouds
I
were
don't like it though. Shield Ship 9, what's the holdup?
kind of
Not to worry.
around the sun.
We've
It
got
created
another
this
crop
strange
coming in that also doesn't have a slow
effect.
circuit.
This is
We're gonna
exactly
have
what I
to
need
take
for
you both in
this.
together.
So
No point tying up two of us.
I was glad to finally get
You have an ID on that
to
other
use
ship?
that
Hey,
photo.
friend. We don't even have an ID on you.
You're a big help. Chewie, you got an approach yet on this
I did
guy?
love the way that
Oh,
Han just says
cute.
you're a big help.
Real
And it's
cute.
actually Matt Finish voicing the
Coming in
shield
from
ship
the far
captain
side
as well,
of the
so he's
shield
kind
ship
of
central
talking
pylon.
to himself and
Getting it between
turned
him and us where we can't scan him.
turned off the comms to himself.
Stay sharp. This might be a decoy.
So in the book, there's a lot more to this scene where they're trying to work out
Hello,
if
strangers. Good to see you.
Luke is really in that X-wing. And I did think about putting that in, but it just felt like it works fine in the book, but in this, it's one of those scenes I've talked about before where it doesn't work in video because it's really, really long and drawn out, and you as the
What's
audience,
happening?
we've seen Luke
We're in
talk,
Nick Lon's
so we
shop.
know it's him.
I've got a lock on Lando's mining
It
operation.
just felt like unnecessary.
First
For the,
Bespin, now
video.
Nick. Have you ever
But I get why
known
it's in the
Lando
book,
when
I
he
just-
wasn't involved in
it's
some
one of those
kind
small
crazy
changes.
scheme?
Not
that-
very often.
I had to make. And again, this shot here
I think I see the city. That
of
group
the
of lights over there.
landscape, it's the same
Too small.
cloud photo that I
More
took a
likely
picture of
it's
that I
a
was just
group of
talking
mole
about.
miners. Last I heard, he had 100 of the things digging stuff out of the surface.
Floopy, yes you did. I was animating one of them, so what I did was then duplicated it many times to get the
Unidentified ships.
effect.
You've been cleared for
So if
landing
you
on
look
platforms
underneath it,
5 and
you'll
6.
see them moving.
Follow the beacon in. And watch out for the bumps.
Got it. Tell me again about Lando and his crazy schemes.
And you see that they're kind of picking up some dust as well. I thought that with that many walkers, there's going to be a lot of dust. Yeah, that dreadnought. I found a really nice
Unidentified
dreadnought
ship.
model,
Welcome to
and I
Nomad
thought I'll
City.
use that one.
What's this about playing a hand of Savick?
Lando, we were just talking
And
about you.
I'll bet.
I've
Oh,
painted
Leia
it blue
and
because
Chewie
I
with
thought
you?
this is
We're all
Lando. He owns that.
It's not
He's not
exactly
going
a
to settle for a
We need
grey
a little help.
ship.
Well, sure.
So I made it
Anything I
blue,
can
and
do.
it also helped because
I'll
the
leave it.
landscape is very dark.
Someone's jamming.
So when I had the original colour
Chewie,
grey modelling, it
find
was
us
very
a
hard to
clear
see it.
frequency.
So kind of
Any ships who can read me, check in.
that's another reason I changed the
Lando,
colour.
what's going on? Imperial Star Destroyer coming in fast.
I like
They
how you
found
never
us.
find out how Lando got those walkers. And of course, we've got to the cliffhanger ending. Yeah, I only so my trick was, let me go back to wait. Yeah. So what you saw me animating was this first walker here at the front. And what I did is after the stream I finished it, not right after the stream because I went to bed, but following, sort of the next morning, the next day I got back to work on it. So I finished the sequence of movement and then duplicated the walker so that it had the same movement, but so I didn't actually have to reanimate every single walker. Because if I had to do it that way, I probably would have found a different way to not show the walkers. But when I found out I could copy one and it would keep the same animation, it made the whole process a lot easier. There was a moment where I had a bit of panic when I thought, I've got to animate 40 walkers now. I don't want to do that. But of course I did want to do it because I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. How many walkers are down there? I didn't actually count, but there should be at least 25. I didn't put all 40. because some are going to be obscured. Like, there's no way to see a walker that's here. And I thought, the more I add, it adds to the render time, even though you can't see it because the dreadnought's in the way. And so you can't see it. It'll add absolutely nothing to the scene. So why have a slower render for no reason? But there's obviously, you can see the ones right here along the edge, and you can see inside the legs of some that are partially obscured. I thought that was enough. Vaughn, yeah, it's described as a dreadnought with 40 AT-AT walkers on top. You can see 17, but there are more because I wasn't sure how far back you'd be able to see. So there are some that are still obscured. I just didn't go all the way to the other side. Let's watch through the sequence again. This is again the very first one which you saw me animate. So you can just see the feet of a walker there. I think if you saw this walking towards you, it would be a very strange thing to see. Like a building walking towards you. You'd be getting it from the sort of the front perspective. Somebody excellent. I'm glad you liked the photo. That's the idea. It kind of adds. I didn't want it to just be bright. I thought it needed to look unique, which is why that cloud formation was worked so well, yeah, in my mind for what I wanted to achieve. Obviously, I did change it a little bit so it's not a blue sky because you wouldn't really have any atmosphere in space. And I don't think Niklon has any atmosphere at all. So you kind of got the it's kind of like the moon. YTL, I'm afraid that's the only part of your name I would know how to pronounce, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. How goes the ship designs? Well, I don't actually design these ships. I just find the models because they're all existing Star Wars designs. So I try and find people who are very talented at model making produce these things. Yeah, I decided not to try and think about how realistic it was for 70 orcas to carry this, although I suspect the gravity on this planet isn't is fairly low as well, so that may help. Obviously, when people walking around inside the ship would have the full artificial gravity that they would be used to on any starship, but yeah, low gravity would make it a little bit more feasible. Lost Files, yeah, I'm glad that that's never explained. It kind of adds to the mystery of Lando has crazy schemes. So you see this, you have no idea how he did it. Or where he got the dreadnought or the walkers from. I think that adds to the craziness that is Lando. Of course, we get, having this paused shot here, we get to see the nice blue paint job as well. Well, I've kind of come to the end of... I've covered the 2 chapters I was going to talk about. I'll stay a little bit longer, but I will call it a night soon. But stay a little bit longer to chat with you guys, because it's always nice to do that. Somebody else, yeah. Probably a bit hotter than Mercury. I have not read the Ahsoka novel just yet. I've heard good things, I've just not had a chance to sit down and read it. I still haven't got that far with the most recent Thrawn book, so the problem I get is if I sit down and read, I tend to fall asleep very quickly, which makes it very hard to... Doesn't matter what the book is or how good it is, I just fall asleep. So it takes me a while to get through books. Yeah, I guess I could see the Dreadnought as a surplus. Berserker of Thrawn, I'm afraid you've come towards the end of the stream. I did commentary on chapter 11 and 12. But if you want to catch up, when I finish the stream, you'll be able to go back and see it on the channel. It'll take a couple of minutes for YouTube to process it, but it's all done automatically. As far as I imagine that they're probably attached with I think they're not just magnets, but they're probably welded together or bolted onto the underneath, or some other more permanent mechanism than just magnets. But yeah, it would make sense that they were attached in space and then lowered down. Ooh, excuse me. I'm pretty tired. It's been a different, exhausting week in a good way, but yeah. Hoppy, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night. Next week, the time difference between the UK and North America should be the way it normally is, because our clocks change next weekend, so we should be lined up better. I don't know what I'm going to discuss yet. It depends on what material I've got for chapter 13, or I may find something else to do. I may even stream playing an old Star Wars game. I don't know which one yet, but if I don't have anything to show for Heir to the Empire, that might be what I do. Thank you all. You're all very kind. So sorry, I went silent because I was reading the comments. But yeah, thank you all for coming. It's always a pleasure. Lots of game suggestions. If I do a game, I will I don't know which one I'll do, but I will consider your suggestions. I don't really know what else to say about that yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I see Empire at War, Thrawn's Revenge is coming up quite a lot. I'll look into getting that game. Well, I've got the game. I haven't played the mod. What I could do is track down a copy of Yoda Stories. Hoppy, yeah. I live near Bristol, but far enough away that what happened yesterday didn't really affect me, and I will not be going in for quite some time. I don't have Masters of Terras Cassie, it was a PlayStation game, I believe. I don't have a PlayStation to play it on. If it goes through one of the, because they're re-releasing some of the old Star Wars games. If they do it on PC, I can play it. I do have a PS4, but it's not. It's nowhere that I could set up to stream, so they'd have to release it on PS4. I've also got a Switch, but I can't stream that either because it's a Switch Lite. Next stream will be Monday. I only stream once a week. So it'll be Monday, midnight GMT in the UK. That should be 5 o'clock EST. No, 7 o'clock EST. Getting my time zones mixed up. Not quite the same time as today because our clocks change. Yoda Stories. I could play that. Don't actually think I have a copy of that anymore. Hoppy, there we go. Thank you so much. Clearing up the time difference. So 5 PST, 8. No. It'll be 7 EST because the time, our clocks in the UK will change, and we're back to the usual 5-hour difference between the UK and EST. It's everyone. Everyone's making it very difficult to know which game to play next week. But I will look at each of your suggestions and then choose something. I do have most of the games that have been suggested. As far as I know exactly what you mean. The Empire War is really tempting, but I also really like Rebellion. Pod Racer, I do have that. Bionic, please do. The more subscribers, the better. I do appreciate every single person who subscribes. Okay, so I'm going to call it a night now. Thank you so much for coming, and well, you'll eat my leg. A couple of weeks ago when I had a bad knee, I might have welcomed that. Lost Files, I'm waiting for the new Star Wars Lego game. The one that they haven't released, haven't given a release date yet, even though it should be soon. But I'm probably going to get it for the Switch, and I can't stream that. I suppose I could always set a webcam up over my shoulder and stream that. Jedi Academy, that's a great game. Problem with Empire at War and Rebellion is they're long games, and I don't think I'd get too far with either of them in the usual hour or so that I stream. So I'll have to think about it. I suppose I could just stream a... With Empire at War I can just stream a battle rather than the strategic mode. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going to call it a night and then we keep talking. But, yeah, so good night and thank you all for coming. May the Force be with you. And I need to do that so I can get OBS up. Alright, take care. See you all next week with whatever surprise I have in store for you. May the Thrawn be with you. I like that. Alright, take care. I'm waving. I don't know why, 'cause